Hey, good folks, how you doing? It's Monday night. I'm Scott. That's Day, and that's Rob. And this is Tales from the Film Set, or in this case, we're going to call it Cash or Trash Night. For those of you who may remember, or for those of you who do not, more or less every Monday night at the end of every month, we will sit there and we will look at the movies that are coming out in the month of September, look at what their budget's going to be, and debate whether they're going to fly or they're going to fail. I, for one, actually am really curious, as we had 5 movies on tap for this at this point. I also have the movie history for these two also as well, so I'll see what they can do in that department. But first of all, gentlemen, how are you?
I'm fantastically well, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Rob, are you not on drugs?
I'm great. I'm not on drugs like Dave, but I am great.
Hey guys, I'm not on drugs. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. So yeah, but all right, folks. So let's roll with this at this point. Like I said, it is Cash or Trash time. This came with the idea and the reminder that Rob Manning, who's always a big fan of Cash or Trash.
Yeah.
So we are doing these movies in this case. I am doing the best that I can with what I've got here because unfortunately in this case, I don't really have a lot of the budgets this time around.
I was going to say, are we going to first do the movie history thing, or is that later on?
As you can see, we're going to do that a little bit later on.
Sorry.
That's good. So, okay. So, a sequel that is 36 years in the making, I think, at this point. A movie that basically, when the first one came out, Rob, you were not born yet. Your dog was not born yet. Day, you were probably in diapers, and I remember it well. So back in the era when people were like, this Tim Burton guy's kind of weird, you know. The movie, of course, being Beetlejuice, the first one. Beetlejuice, of course, leading way for Michael Keaton to become Batman, and people were like, why the hell would we want Bruce Wayne to be Beetlejuice? But that worked out in the end. So at this point, we have most of the original cast back. We do not have Jeffrey Jones back because of Jeffrey Jones's issues in some ways and also some other stuff going on with that. But Jenna Ortega is going to be taking over the role a little bit with Winona Ryder more or less playing the mother role in this particular case.
Right.
So I'm going to turn this over to you, Dave, first. I don't have a budget on this, but we're estimating supposedly somewhere around $100 million. It would need to make at least 200, probably better than 250 to break even on this. Do you think it's got a shot?
Okay, so there's people that went to go see the film. And so far, there hasn't been good reviews.
It's definitely a movie, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Who has seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?
I haven't, but I have sources that actually went to the screens because they had screenings in my area. Yeah.
I believe it.
Now, my understanding in this particular case, the arrangement was made that this movie will not be updated for modern audiences. So if you were expecting a more 2024 present era style Beetlejuice, you are going to be disappointed. They're keeping the same kind of brash, clash behavior in this particular case that made the first one so well received. So there may be some complaints about that. But Rob, go ahead. I know this was your biggie.
I'm Cash. I don't care. I don't care if there's supposedly bad reviews. I'm going Cash. I don't see why this movie won't. You got enough Jenna Ortega fans to go see this movie that'll make it Cash. You got Michael Keaton fans that'll come back. Even if it is a bad movie, you are going to still have your original fans come back. And if what you're saying is true, where they've kept it in the style, that'll make the original people like it. Maybe not my generation that didn't grow. I grew up with this movie, or let's say the next generation that didn't grow up with this movie and is going to see this without seeing the first one. It's possible that they may not like it. My question is Alan Baldwin back in this or no, because of his controversial too?
He is not back in this. Gina Davis is not back in this, and Jeffrey Jones is not in this.
Gina Davis, you would think they maybe, okay. I guess if you don't have the one, you don't get the other, but would have made sense to bring back Gina Davis, but at least we get back one.
You kind of have to bring it as a package deal or else just some random throw-in cameo, which I don't think makes a lot of sense. But as the cartoon show from the 90s had shown, you can survive with just Lydia and Beetlejuice, or generate it. So you can make it work that way.
True. And I think the reason why I also think that this will be cash is there is enough following in the Beetlejuice franchise to at least make it cash. I'm going to say it's going to make at least $400 million. Because I know you said the budget's 100, but I could
That's
see that.
what I'm hearing, but I don't have confirmation. A lot of these, unfortunately, I don't really have confirmation on them, so we're going to have to speculate.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have to probably do more of just a generic cash or trash as opposed to a finite number.
I do have high hopes. I will be seeing this opening weekend. And yeah, so cash.
All right. Day, do you have an opinion on this?
Well, if it's 100, whatever you said, 100 million, it's redeemable. Supposedly, it's redeemable. But, like I said, so far as the screenings is concerned, yeah, people are going to see it, but there's people that saw it already, and they're not happy.
Here's my other thought about this. Rob talked about the earlier, basically the Gen Xers going to see it in theaters. We won't. We'll wait for it to come out on HBO Max or, Max or whatever, Hulu, Peacock or whatever we're going to put it on, Netcock. We'll wait for that typically. I think the younger generation might be down for it, but I think a lot of the Gen Xers at this point, we don't really hit the movies that much anymore. We're just like, you know what? I'll wait for it to show up on something. And I want to say trash as a result.
I don't think with the sequel, Top Gun was a good example. You had when Top Gun 2 came out, you had a bunch of people that were in their 60s, the 70s, 50, anywhere from basically who would have grew up with that movie. A lot of those people were filling my theaters up, and
Yeah, but Top Gun is a different film. Oh. Top Gun is action, balls to the wall. Throttle on it. That is an 80s classic. Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins is one of the most all-time 80s songs ever.
Yes.
So as a result, that movie screams stereo and big screen.
And Ghostbusters was a good example. Not the one that just came out, but when the Afterlife the first one that came back when you had the cameo of the Ghostbusters, a lot of people came because they were fans of the actual franchise.
Yeah, but that was more because of one of the original characters passed away, and they wanted to see how they're going to represent and present it. That
reason.
Yeah, that was a reason, because that's why. And then they actually had a screening in New York Comic-Con, and they showed the whole film, and I was there seeing it. So that was part of the reason they wanted to pay tribute to.
I'm just saying, if I go see this movie, I bet you can guarantee anyone that's basically 50 and up, or we'll say 40s and up, will be at this movie.
Keep in mind that basically when you reach a certain age, 9 p.m. is bedtime. So,
well, that's why they make daytime showings.
Which,
yeah.
Robin and I went along with Diego and Ernesto, went to NYCFC to cover the game on Saturday night. By the second half, probably around like 9:15, I could not stop yawning. I was wiped. You hit a certain age, and I fell asleep, and I fell asleep upstairs on the couch for this today. You put a bunch of us in a dark theater, man, we're dead.
Like I said, I could see the Sunday, the matinee shows are going to be packed. Yes, you're right. And this is right before Halloween too.
Valid. I think it falls into a nice little niche because Kraven the Hunter's coming out this weekend, and nobody gives a crap about that one. I don't think people even realize Kraven the Hunter's coming out this weekend.
Right.
Wait, do we have confirmation on that?
Let me check that.
Because not saying my theater gets everything, but I don't think it comes out.
Official release is December 13th, but apparently there's early screenings this weekend. That movie will trash anyway, though, so we'll get that. We'll trash that one in its own time.
No, that one's gonna be cash.
Nah.
It's gonna be way better than what that other movie that we don't talk about. Venom comes out this week. I think that's what you're thinking.
Venom 3?
Yeah.
Which technically we don't even have that on our list, do we?
Actually, Venom 3 I have October 25th.
Oh, I thought. So, okay, never mind. Oh, I know. Never mind. My theater's showing me all the movies for September and October, and they normally don't do that, so I think that's why I got mixed up.
Got it. Oh, good.
But anyway, we got Beetlejuice. This is comes out next weekend.
Yeah, this weekend we have Reagan with Dennis Quaid,
which is technically August, but it's the end of August.
Okay. But yeah, Day, yes, no problem. Pop out, whatever you got to do. It's all cool. So let me take him out of there for the moment. Okay, so you think this is going to work?
Yeah.
All right. I say this is not going to work. I think it's going to be one of those things it's going to be a disappointment. But a lot of people like myself will be like, you know what? I'll read it on Wikipedia or I'll watch it on HBO Max. Because no doubt it's coming to Max probably, I don't know, probably for Halloween, I'd imagine.
To be fair, you don't see a lot of movies in theaters.
No, I really don't. You know, dude, I run this business, man. You know, you guys call me all the time with everything. So it's a good problem to have, my dear. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, well, every movie for you, so you're welcome.
Yes. So, but yeah, that's why I fall asleep on the couch. And it's 7:30 at night. Okay, like I said, I vote trash. You vote cash. Day, what are you going with on this?
It's possible.
Is cash or trash?
It's hard because it is an iconic film, but you got it coming out in August.
No, you have it coming out in September.
Oh, September.
Yeah, next weekend.
Given August, cash or trash.
Okay, you got it coming out in September, which kids are going back to school.
Yes.
So I'm going to say
that's not the audience for this movie. Is kids?
No, not just kids. You got college students. You got. So if you want to be technically, and then people working and trying to find time, I'm going to say borderline trash.
Okay. I could see let me say this. I could see why Rob would be right, and embarrassingly so, where if this thing crushes, he's going to he's going to be demure and he's going to be humble, and he's not going to rub it in our face that he was correct on this. He's not going to basically just dunk on us all the way through and be like, you know what, I was right, you guys are wrong. Yeah. He won't do that because that's not how he
never
rolls.
Do that.
Exactly. So, I think, like I said, I'm going to say trash, but I'm going to say I could also be wrong too, because I don't know. I mean, my track record hasn't been great lately, but I'm going to stick with my opinion and ride it till the horse drops. So, all right, moving on.
Just remember, it's okay to be wrong.
No, that's
yeah, dude, I'm married. Of course, I'm wrong. All right, so moving on. Transformers.
More than me.
Now it has some Thor. Now we got Thor and Steve Buscemi and who else is in this thing? Well, a lot of people in this thing. Scarlett Johansson in this.
Yeah.
First time we've been together since Endgame.
We have this John Bailey that's in this movie too.
Yeah. We'll talk about John in its own time, but so there's a lot of, which by the way also talks a little bit about the fact that there's a crossover now with the voice with YouTube finally like becoming mainstream. Matt Pat ends up in Five Nights at Freddy's. This is starting to be a crossover now because they're like, oh, Hollywood's like, oh, these guys have followings. Maybe we should do this. So anyway, but in the meantime, we have Chris Hemsworth. We've got Keegan-Michael Key. We got Scarlett Johansson. We got Steve Buscemi. Do we have a good film?
I'm going to say yes. Because this is an origin story that everybody's been waiting for. This is a story where people wanted to see the relationship with Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly this is pretty much just going to be I really to say this is going to be cash.
I can agree with that. Go ahead, Rob. Hello?
Rob.
Yeah, wait, yeah.
I said, do you have a budget?
I don't on this, but I'm hearing unofficially about $100 million.
So the biggest thing that I'm struggling with this movie is this should have been released in summer and not in September.
Well, I feel it's. But you want to know something, Rob? I feel as though that's not going to matter.
I do feel like this is going to be matter because with this movie, it's more for the new generation. Like wise, kind of like when we had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. If I'm not mistaken, that was a summer film. I feel like this should have been a summer film. That's going to really hurt this movie because like you said, there are kids have school and stuff. Therefore, less of this movie. I think this one is going to. I kind of really can't say much about this movie, but I think it's going to be hard to beat cash because of the timing it's coming out.
I doubt it.
See that point. I have to go with cash on this only because of the fact that it's different, it's animated, and we saw what worked with Spider-Man. I'm not going to say it's the same vein, but Chris Hemsworth has a lot of pull on this. Keegan-Michael Key's got a good pull. John Hamm's got good pull, and there's a lot of people in this that I think have enough pull and enough draw to be successful. Again, I don't have the number on this about how much this budget is. I was hearing in the vein of about $100 million. I think, irrespective, I think it can still pull off what it needs to in order to make this basically a cash movie.
And to be honest with you, Rob and Scott, this is a film that people been waiting for. People want to see. No, I'm telling you, this.
I understand what you're saying, but the big hinder of this movie is Chris Hemsworth,
which is part of the reason why it's going to pull. It's going to pull the Chris Pratt Mario approach, where it's not about somebody who has talent necessarily, but it's like, hey, they have a big Instagram following. Hey, look at this. Chris Hemsworth is now Optimus.
Okay, I see why you're saying that, Scott, but here's my biggest issue with that. When we actually watched Mario as Chris Pratt, I did not have a problem with it because we've seen Chris Pratt do other stuff than just Star-Lord. It was too distracting it being Chris Hemsworth's voice.
So basically, you had Chris Hemsworth's voice without Chris Hemsworth's abs.
Well, just ever since the last Thor movie that nobody talks about now, the whole humor and joke thing, I can't take the actor serious, and in this movie it was really hard to do that. I'm gonna say trash.
What?
Ooh.
Wow. Y'all hear it first, audience. Rob says trash.
This is why I say cash. Do you see that Instagram following?
No, I see that there is a high enough Transformer fan base, and when they see, I don't care about the numbers. You can show me fancy numbers. I have a problem with his voice.
Maybe you do,
which I get that.
A lot of people do. I've seen a lot of views where people have a problem with Chris Hemsworth.
It's sort of gravelly, sort of, Australian sort of thing going on.
We still have Peter Cullen and Frank Welker still alive that still do the voice daily on a daily, actually every single weekend at conventions.
Yeah, but they don't have the marketing pull.
Yeah.
What?
Kids are like, who the hell is this old guy?
Yeah, we're talking about current kids. Yeah. Now, us like me and...
Which, by the way, in this case, Rob, you're too old for current kids in this case.
No, hold on. I get that. But when I think of Optimus Prime, especially Optimus Prime, they gave him a goofy voice. Yes, I'm calling Chris Hemsworth a goofy voice. Okay. They should have modded his voice. And actually, there was a certain person we talked to that can actually do that voice perfect. And yeah, I'm just...
By the way, Rob, check the private chat.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
No, it's good. So I think, in this case, I see your point and I do agree with it, but I don't think there's enough people that will agree with you on that. So as a result, I think it's going to be one of those things that it's still going to draw money because
if
he
it
can
does make cash, I think the only way it'll make cash, and this is the only way I can see it, is I don't think it'll be because of the U.S. Maybe it's going to be cash overall. International will probably help this movie internationally, but I don't think I know we don't normally just go on U.S. numbers, but I think U.S. numbers alone would not make this movie cash.
And
guys, that brings up a really, really, really good point.
Yeah.
Remember one other country where Transformers is monstrous.
I understand the U.S. is monstrous.
No, Shigayo no. Shigayo. Ahsoka dana.
Now you see.
Nippon ni, karedachi wa hontou ni daisuki Transformer da. Ichiban no Transformer wa Ahsoka dana.
And I knew where he was going with it because once he said that, I'm like, yep.
Japan is where Transformers came from.
And
Mm-hmm.
There are so many anime series over there at this point that they will go and see this.
Yeah.
Let me word it this way. Fine. Go ahead and put me in cash, but it won't be cash for the U.S. It'll be cash because
doesn't matter.
As long as the money comes in, they don't care what country it comes from.
I understand. We don't care about the other countries. But
if Tasmania basically brings in $500 million, they're like, you know what, Tasmo bucks.
I'm just saying it won't be cash U.S. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's okay. No judgment there. And because it's Australia, and there are like 300 million people in Australia, something like that. They might go see it on that front too.
Yeah.
I really want this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say this: prove Rob wrong. Hashtag prove Rob wrong.
Hey, I can't wait until you see the movie and you agree with me. And when you actually see the movie and not a trailer, you'll understand where I'm coming from.
But it's not about. But I'm just gonna say this: it's not about Chris Hemsworth's voice.
It's
No, it's not. It's about the quality and the story base back when Optimus Prime and Megatron had that relationship. They could care less because they know Peter Cullen can't do a younger Optimus Prime.
There didn't need to be a younger Optimus Prime voice for this. It's like Scoob. Scoob's a perfect example, actually. That's what this movie reminded me of, is Scoob. If you don't know what Scoob is, it's when they did a younger version of doing a backstory like what this movie does, and you changed every single actor. The only actor you kept was Frank Welker that plays Scooby. That's the only actor that they kept. But they put Zac Efron, they took every big name cast member and made it a high, like Scott likes to prove, a following base. People that got followers. So that is my issue with this movie. And to be honest, I probably will not be seeing this again in theaters.
Okay.
All I will say.
Mixed reviews from mixed people and everybody.
Well, actually, okay. You won't be seeing it in theaters. Okay, I thought you already did, but all right. So.
I said I quoted again.
He did say again.
Yeah, okay.
And there was a reason why I did see it, because I got to see it for free, and it was a nice AMC.
Was it worth the price of admission then?
What?
Was it worth the price of admission?
Free, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was worth free. If you
it was worth it free.
Okay, hold on. We'll change it up. If you can see this movie for free, definitely go see it.
There you go. It'll be worth every penny.
It's worth $99.
Okay, so I want to switch this up a little bit in this case.
All right. Sorry, Rob went on a slight tangent.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Little bit of a different tangent in this case.
Yeah.
Low budget, to say the least. It's not going to get a massive release, but Kevin Smith's movie, 4:30 movie.
I wish my theater was getting this.
I don't know. It's going to be pretty limited release. I'm not even looking at it from the cash or trash standpoint. I mean, it's probably only came in at like 15, maybe 30 million. I mean, the thing about Kevin is he does his own editing. He does his own filming. He does everything pretty much by himself. He has his crew of his AD and his PA, and they all just kind of go from one project to the next. And these people, and I watched it firsthand because I did 2 days last year, they love to work with him. This crew loves it. They have short days, which is big. These guys would have a 10-hour crew day and then be gone, which is glorious when you're used to working 13, 14, 15 hours. But it has the mainstays that came back in this. Aside from basically Austin Zajor, who's the new guy in writing this thing. But, you got Justin Long coming back, Jason Lee, Kate Cucci came back, Diedrich Bader is back again, Harley Quinn, his daughter, who actually plays a minister or a nun. Method Man's back. And then, of course, Brian, Jeff, Rosario Dawson, Muse, and Biggs. So it's like all of like his mainstays are just like, I'm just going to like freaking write you into this thing and we'll figure it out.
Did you say Rosario Dawson's in it too?
Yes, she is.
That's cool.
Yeah, that would make her third movie for Kevin Smith.
Right.
A lot of people love working with this guy. I'm going to be honest with you.
I saw it. I watched it, dude.
Because he cares for his people.
He cares for his people, but also because he's quick. He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
When you have a crew that runs, like I said, 14, 15 hours a day, it burns you out on a film set. But in this case here, they'd be in it like say 7, they'd be done like 5:30. They may break for lunch, maybe they don't. But what blew my mind is I was there filming the last day of filming. It was a pickup shot that we were supposed to do on an earlier day, but we couldn't because of the fact that there was a lightning storm, so they couldn't film it. He had that movie already 40% done by that point. And he said, basically, as soon as we're done wrap here, for any of the crew that want to watch what we've done so far, since we're filming in a movie theater, hey, guess what? I had the first 40 minutes of the movie already done. He had 28-day shoot. He already had 40% of it edited by that point.
Wow.
That is insane.
I always love his catchphrase that he says he always feels bad for the people that are in his movies.
Like I said, what I saw in that movie, the crew was happy to be there. The cast was happy to be there. I talked to some of the crew there. I ran into Ernie O'Donnell again because Ernie runs the theater, and these guys, Ernie's, by the way, in this also. Ming is in this as well. So again, he's bringing other mainstays back. But they, like I said, they really enjoy working with him on stuff like this. Now, this movie takes place in the distant past of 1986. Rob, you weren't yet. Day, I don't think you were yet either.
No, I was born on 86.
Okay.
Love story about you. Got it.
Yeah. Well, in this case, like I said, I remember the 1980s because that was Transformers era, although 86 was starting to peter out a little bit. At that point, I was saving up to buy my Nintendo. Spent an entire year mowing grass to get that.
And
but I remember the 80s. But here's the other thing, though. The 80s are so in right now. The color, the look, the retro part of it. I think as things are very drab right now, color-wise in a lot of ways, people miss the flash and the glitz that the 80s brought. The easiest, example of that is if you look at a McDonald's from the 1980s versus a McDonald's now. Just do a comparison. The one in the 80s, it's bright, it's orange, it's yellow, and now they're all gray. And that's kind of the mentality across the board.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons why Stranger Things has worked.
And Stranger Things did it right because they didn't do like what, for example, like that 90s show did, where it like smashed everything in your face. It was subtle. It was the 80s. They had a couple of nods here, but it didn't like constantly remind you, hey, this is the 1980s. That 90s show kept bringing up things like Clerks, Ricky Lake, Zima, and just like dropping things in there just to remind you when it was.
Know what? Those were nostalgic stuff that pretty much kept people at bay, where he was like, look, let me watch my Ricky Lake. Let me watch my Jerry Springer. Let me watch.
But you don't talk about, you wouldn't go 20 years from now and be like, I'm going to make a phone call on my Samsung Android phone. It's not proper dialogue for 20 years from now.
Right.
So like I said, you have a certain subtlety to it that I think makes it better this way. I don't know if this movie is going to be any good. I had to sign an NDA, so I can't really discuss too much in detail on it. But I hope it does well. Kev is a good guy. Kev actually recorded a really nice message for my fiance, now wife, a month before we got married that I originally had a plan to play during the reception. And then like 3 seconds in, I'm like, can't play this for the 70-year-olds in attendance.
Yeah.
Because
I actually went to his stand-up or his so-called stand-up at NJ Pack, and he is better than Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Can I be real for you guys for a sec? that's the kind of stand-up I want to do. You know, what I always had this dream that what I wanted to do is basically set up stuff at colleges and events and whatever, charge $25, have the money go to some charity of their choice, like an option of 4 or 5 charities, whatever, and then people just throw questions at me, you know, about filming or about whatever. You know, what makes Kevin Smith's stuff so good is he doesn't have to do stand-up. He just responds to whatever question is thrown at him. And he just does it in his fun little way, like the Superman Reborn story. I mean, the way he talked about Superman Reborn with Nick Cage is genius. And he went on for 20 minutes, but it wasn't anything he pulled out of thin air. Someone asked him about it. That's the kind of stuff I'd love to do. You know, just go someplace, you know, raise some money for charity and have people be like, so you had to show your ass on camera. What was that like? Humiliating, you know, and just go into whatever happened like that, you know, or whatever, you know, that sort of thing. I'd love to do stuff like that and just like throw money at whatever charity is involved.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. When we say he's vulgar, he's vulgar. He's like that.
He had a movie called Vulgar.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, he's like that uncle that is like the favorite uncle.
You know, like I said, yeah, in his case, like I said, he recorded something that actually was really cool that I cannot actually play here, but I will save it for a little bit later on that. And yeah, we'll see if I can play. I'll play it for you guys privately if you haven't heard it.
Is this movie PG-13 or rated R?
I think PG-13.
PG-13.
Because I think. Okay, never mind. I'm getting things mixed up because I listened to his podcast. And I was, never mind what I said. But I wish my theater was getting this. I don't, like you said, I think it has a limited release, so it's probably only in the New Jersey area and states.
No.
It's limited release, but it won't be just Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Arkansas is getting it.
Probably not. California probably will, though.
Yeah, California, Jersey, New York, maybe Connecticut.
Yeah.
Ones that are surrounded by you guys.
Probably PA.
I mean, he's from here, so you know.
Yeah, so we're definitely getting that.
Well, that's what I said. Obviously, y'all are getting it, and it'll be the states that are around y'all.
Wait, say that one more time, Rob.
States that are around y'all.
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 Well, see, here's the thing. I'm redneck Jersey, so my pronouns are like y'all and yous.
Yeah, I'm pretty much.
Yeah, we got that redneck thing going on there. I'm Jersey a little bit, but you know what? You know, I grew up around, you know, bears in my neighborhood, so it's like, all right.
Kind of hard to say cash or trash with this because he doesn't care about the budget of the movie. He just wants to make the movies, and that's what I like about Kevin Smith.
And that's what a lot of people like about him, and I agree with Rob on that. Like,
but he did learn a couple things recently. He got to work on a movie for the first time, editing somebody else's movie.
That's tough.
And I can talk about it because he talked about it on the podcast. So it is public information. But he worked on Logic's movie. Logic coming out. And it's on the podcast. You don't have to be like a subscriber or anything like paid subscriber. So it is public information. But anyways, and he was saying one thing that I noticed. He's talking about, like, and how I made the joke earlier. He says he always feels bad that people have to say they're in a Kevin Smith movie. It's always the joke he makes. But he's like, I try to get people in and out. But he was saying when Logic, for his first movie and stuff, Logic would take hours to film a view just because it looked amazing. And he never seen it at that kind of aspect to just be like, oh, that's a cool shot, so we should film that shot, focus on that shot and stuff. So it was kind of cool to hear about that. And I know he talked about a little about this movie. I think it'll be cash. If there is even a cash for this, like I said, I don't know how many theaters are it or even how long it'll be out. But like I said, it's kind of not fair to say cash or trash.
It's not. I will say it's going to be trash, though, because it's just not going to have enough theaters on this. And it's not enough of a draw. Kevin Smith is not a big enough draw at this point.
What?
You know?
What?
He's not.
What?
Dude.
What? Hold up. Well, I'm going to stop you right there, Scott. Yeah. First and foremost, he's been highlighted on North to Shore. He's being highlighted right now at New York Comic-Con.
True. Yeah,
Don't say this guy is not a draw. He is a draw.
Yeah, but will people go and see his movies as a draw? Is the question.
Of course. Of course.
You think
if
so?
they're available, yes. Like I said, I can't physically go see this. I've already, when you guys mentioned in the chat the 4:30, I forgot that was Kevin Smith's movie, because when I looked at my theater, there wasn't a 4:30, So I would go see this just for the fact that I've met Kevin Smith. And anytime I've been to a con, even though he goes to a con all the time, either he's already sold out or he has a long line and you're waiting hours to meet him. And yes, I do feel like even with yes, Jason Lee ain't as big of a name as he was back then. There's still people that'll support him. Rosario Dawson is a big name. So I feel like with the surrounding people that are in, and like I said, Kevin Smith, him being featured, like how he was saying New York Comic Con and stuff, I do feel like, yeah,
all right,
will be cash. It's just sucks that it's not released at all theaters. Or
yeah, I would say this: it'd be cash. He will make the money, but it's not going to be astronomical as Hollywood will want it.
And I don't think he cares.
He don't.
I don't think the people, Ken Jeong and the rest of them, I don't think they care either. I think they're just happy to be there. They enjoy. I mean, you talked about Logic's kind of films. I've seen those film sets. I mean, I've seen the ones where I did something actually a couple of years ago where they set up the camera, they did put all the camera, the lights, had everything set up, took like 45 minutes. We did a couple of shots. Yeah, I don't like this. Can we do it another way? And then they'd take it down and bring it back up again. And it was honestly a very, very difficult experience. That's why they like people like him, or people like Spike Lee or Steven Soderbergh, because these guys are done. And that is such a glorious thing. Steven Soderbergh would have crew days on the Nick that would be 5 hours. They'd be in at 8 in the morning. They'd be wrapped by 1 p.m. And he's like, all right, we got it. We're good. I would see it on the Nick. We'd have days on Fridays where we start at like say 7:30 in the morning. And he's like, we're just going to work right through lunch. By 3:30 in the afternoon, he's like, all right, guys, have a good weekend. For a production, when you're used to basically working Saturdays till 4 o'clock in the morning, working till 4 o'clock on the afternoon is actually pretty damn good.
That's why The Little House on the Prairie worked.
Was it that fast too?
Huh?
Was it that fast?
Well, it was.
I know soap operas are, but
it was. You worked at 7 a.m. and you got off by 5 or 3. I can't remember what they've said in the podcast, and you wouldn't work weekends. It was Monday through Friday, and Michael really cared about his. He overseen everything, and he took the entire casting, or not cast, but the entire crew. From Bazan's, I can't ever say the word
Bonanza.
But however,
Bonanza with Lauren Green and Michael Landon, actually.
Yeah, he brought Michael Landon brought that entire crew so that they'd still have jobs, and everybody has like the highest respect for him.
And that also works because the crew already has familiarity with him for another series. Tina Fey does that a lot too, because Tina Fey brought the same crew that did Mean Girls. Also did Kimmy Schmidt, also did 30 Rock, the same people straight all the way through. Girls 5 Eva, same crew, 20-some years. These guys have been working together so they know each other's systems and streamlines the process.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Hey, you got a lot of monster.
What's that?
You got a lot of monster, Rob.
Let's go next movie.
Cool. Yeah, Rob, I'm going to let you run with this because I have a sneeze coming. So... Go ahead, sir.
Oh, cool. So we got Wild Robot coming up. I couldn't find a budget.
Excuse me.
Find a budget at all. This movie, I don't know what the budget is, but I'm going to say cash. I watched the trailer today. I really love the trailer. It gives me vibes of like so many different movies into one, like Iron Giant kind of feel. Kind of like a Short Circuit kind of vibe too. That awesome old 80s movie. Speaking of 80s, like kind of like in Short Circuit when the robot gets like zapped with the lightning and it goes somewhere different than where it's supposed.
Jenny Five's alive.
Five is alive. But yeah, this and the cast that's in this movie. Mark Hamill's in this movie. I mean,
Okay.
I forget who else is. I don't know if we can pull up who's in the movie, but Mark Hamill was one of them. There are a lot of big names in this movie, and I saw the trailer, and it looked great.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Catherine O'Hara back in another movie. She's got 2 movies coming out in the same month.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. Yeah, that was one of the big ones. Yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Bill Nye, not Bill Nye, but Bill Nye.
Mark Hamill. So I mean, just with those couple names alone, and my theater's actually getting this one, so I will be seeing this. That was one of the things that I went to my list. Oh, is this a DreamWorks?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a DreamWorks movie, but yeah, no, yes, there is a lot of animation movies coming out, but this seemed like it was something different, and I really liked the theme to the movie, and after watching the trailer, it had me hooked.
Nice.
So,
okay.
All right.
I don't have enough to say on this, but
me either, because I have not seen the trailer, but by looking at the lineup, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And you got Ben Rames. You got who else?
Got Mark Hamill.
You got Mark Hamill, Pedro Pascal. You got
well, Pedro Pascal's used to doing voices anyway. He did like the last 2 seasons of Mandalorian. So.
Right, but people finally.
You got Lupita.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to have to say, because these people have a draw, I'm going to say cash. Just by the names. I haven't seen the trailer, but by the names that's on in this film, this looks like it could be cash.
Because Mark Hamill, like lately, doesn't just take roles to take roles.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
And like when I saw his name and found out when we met him that he plays my dad, that was pretty cool. And Scott just keeps sneezing himself out of here. He's allergic to our stream.
Yeah, right. I'm allergic to my own company.
Yeah. You're allergic to work. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I wish I knew what the budget was, because with having some of these heavy hitter names, they could be asking a lot of money to be in the movie. So I
probably not a lot though.
Huh?
Hemsworth probably got paid more than any of these guys did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or Pedro Pascal. I mean, he's trying to.
No, Hemsworth.
What?
Hemsworth got paid more than Pedro Pascal.
Everybody.
Hemsworth.
Yeah. He's not in the movie, but we're saying for
Transformers, he got paid more for Transformers than any of these guys did for this movie.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Do we know how much he got paid?
Probably $5 million easy.
And you don't think Mark Hamill got paid $5 million just to
not
make
at all?
No.
750,000.
Yeah.
I'm
telling you.
If that even. Yeah. Yeah, because also keep this. I mean, here's the thing. There was a point during the Marvel era where Chris Hemsworth was the second highest paid actor in Hollywood. Yeah. In 2019, he made $68.7 million.
Yeah.
He was second only to Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because he is such a massive draw, which is why Transformers, I think, would work, just because of the fact he exists in it.
I think Mark got paid over $1 million to be in this movie.
Maybe. I mean, maybe he did.
But
I am curious. Go ahead.
No, but realistically, Rob, I don't think, because Mark Hamilton is one of those strategic actors. He's not going to put himself on a project where he knows, oh, it's going to crap. If it got his name on it, he want to make sure that film either benefits or it's going to be a huge profit for not just him, but for the rest of them.
I never said any of that. I said he got paid $1 million. We're trying to compare this to Transformers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that's how Mark Hamilton operates. He don't look at the money aspect. He look at the performances. He look at how good these people are.
He's half the money at this point.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm sorry. Go ahead. If you want to finish your thought, please.
No, that was it.
Knows his worth, and I'm pretty sure he asked for over $1 million. I would love to see when this movie comes out, when we can kind of see. I think they still release that information, how much an actor gets paid. I would like to just, when this movie comes out, I would like to see if is there a breakdown of that kind of stuff after.
No, there really isn't.
They used to.
I know. The next movie, I got a budget for that one. I got one at least. But
back in the day, you could look up how much a person got paid to be in a movie, and you can't do that nowadays. They don't do that. No. Well, that's not. I will figure this out. Don't worry. I will find out.
Cool. Now, here's what I'm going to say about this. Rob, you were 100% right. This has Iron Giant vibes. And they were trying to do something to basically honor Miyazaki. Curious to see how that works out. Now, I think this is going to be cash. If it's 100 million, I think it can make 250 or 300.
Yeah.
Now, I'm rarely going to get political, but I'm going to now. Part of what has actually hurt Mark Hamill a little bit is the fact that he has come out and started trashing MAGA. Not getting political, but he has come out and started trashing basically half the voting population. This is never really a good sign when you have someone in Hollywood. He's allowed to feel what he feels. I'm not going down that road, but there's a reason why a lot of actors stay ambivalent and away from stuff like this. Yeah. He has been vocal on Twitter. He has been vocal, in front of the stage, and it's alienating certain people because of it. And I don't like to see that. I really don't. But it's one of those things that from a political standpoint, it might hurt this a little bit in some areas. Not enough to make it cash or make it trash, I don't think. But it is one of those things that people are starting to take notice of this now, and they're starting to call him out on it.
Yep.
So I totally 100% agree with what you're saying. But after seeing last weekend and seeing the price that Mr. Hamill's charging for his auto, for just an auto, no character name, no quotes, and the amount of loyalty of all these people that did go see him, because there was a bunch. To be honest, he probably made $1 million last weekend alone, because he was charging $500 to $700 depending on what you, or $400 to $700 depending on what.
Jeez, my God, really?
Wait, yeah. What? Wait,
Damn,
what? What?
$400 to sign an 8x10, $500 to sign a comic book, action figure, cards, etc. $700 to sign a movie theater poster, to sign a lightsaber, any bulk items. And yes, he sold out within an hour the first time they did it. The second time that they released things, he sold out again. And you may be saying, how did Rob have money to have that picture with Mark Hamill that costed $500? Because I didn't have to pay $500. I split it with a friend, and I only had to pay $100. He said, give me $100, and you could be in my picture. So I really thank my friend for that opportunity to be with Mark Hamill, or you would have never seen a picture with me and Mark Hamill. Yes, he was charging. So that's why I made the statement that he probably asked for over $1 million to be in this movie, because I know how much he was charging. And yes, 7 years ago when I had the opportunity to meet him and didn't take it, he was only charging $150. But yes, he charges anywhere from $400 to $700 and was sold out. And they were selling limited amount of tickets each day at the con because he was already all sold out. So yes, but that's just a different perspective. And yes, I understand what you're saying about the political thing, because I've had people, when I said when I met Mark Hamill, they're like, oh, he's the C word, I don't want
to. There's one 4-letter C word. I'm thinking, okay, and
not 4-letter, more letters.
I don't know, crotchety, but I mean, even like 7 hours ago today, he had an anti-Trump post on Twitter. I'm literally looking at it, and I'm looking at the comments in here too.
Yeah,
it's like, Mark, I pity what you've become.
Also, the biggest joke that I've loved hearing.
You're a scum.
Yeah, in the dark side.
And to be honest with people, and I hate going political as well, you have the right to believe in what you want to believe.
Yeah, but
you have the right to vote to who you want to vote. Yeah. But at the same time, let people vote for let people represent who they want to represent.
Yeah.
I think this have been one of those elections where it's tooth and nail. If you don't believe, no. At the end of the day, when the smoke clears and everything, you still gonna kind of need each other. You will need each other. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. While y'all going through a war where, yeah, this politician, that politician, y'all choosing a side, guess what? Y'all sitting back, arguing, ready to fight, while they're sitting back in their billion-dollar mansion looking at y'all like laughing.
Yeah, but listen, the important thing you have to remember, though, only Vermin Supreme promised a pony to every American when he became president.
Yeah.
No one else did. That's important. So,
but yeah, that's all I wanted. But yeah, let's go to the next movie.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. All right, so this guy is 120 million. I got an actual budget here.
What is this movie about?
It's probably about 2 hours.
No, what is it about?
It's about 2 hours.
What is the plot line of this movie, Scott?
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it here.
Because to be honest, my theater does not have this movie. I mean, yes, I know, big shock, but we do get a lot of good movies.
All right. A conflict between Caesar, a genius artist who seeks to leap into a utopian, idyllic future, and his opposition, Mayor Franklin Cicero, who remains committed to the regressive status quo, perpetrating greed, special interest, and partisan warfare. It is directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Currently has a 6.8 rating on IMDb from the advanced screeners.
Oh, wow.
And stars Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, Lawrence Fishburne, who's now in another movie basically this month, Talia Shire, who's still rolling around, and John Voight, who once farted on me. All right, cool. There's your cast.
Oh, I did want to bring up one last thing about the other movie real quick. That was a book series too, so I think that'll be another thing that helps it become cash because it was a book series.
Fair to fair.
Well, cool. How many, like, how was the fan base of the book series?
Probably enough that they'd take a look at it.
Yeah, enough where they made it into a movie.
I mean, shit, if people went to go see Twilight.
Yeah, but so I love the casting that you said in this movie. But I will laugh. If this becomes trash, it'll just be another movie that's in bomb ever since Shia LaBeouf has been in movies. Most of the movies he has done ever since the Transformers were cash. But a lot of movies he tried doing after the whole...
Do it! Just do it!
Do it! Dreams become reality and just do it!
So you're saying the guy from Holes is not going to basically carry this movie?
Yes, and the
guy, a weird freaking movie too, by the way. Can I point that out?
The guy from Peanut Butter Falcon will not carry this movie.
Yes, but I mean, it does. I mean, Adam Driver does have a good lead in this case. Jason Schwartzman, like I said, Giancarlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza.
Wait, did you say Giancarlo Esposito?
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah, we love it.
But Talia Shire, give her credit. She's still rolling around. She's got to be pushing 80 something at this point.
So wait, so all those cast members and this movie is only 125 million?
120 million, yeah.
Okay. Well, the question is, what states is it going to?
Probably all of them, I would think. It's Francis Ford Coppola. So with Coppola, I think it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a wide release or a really tiny one just to be able to qualify for Oscar bait.
So this is an Oscar movie.
They're going to go for Oscars with it. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
but I'd say it's going to be cash. I do.
As a person that's been on Giancarlo Esposito's Instagram twice in my life, I'm gonna just say this is cash because I like Mr. Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
I would go see this movie, but my theater don't have it, so I will be able to see the movie because we got the Wild Robot instead. So I will be seeing Wild Robot while Day sees this. AMC will be paying playing. And
Austin votes cash. It's no Terrifier, but he'll take it anyway.
I don't have an AMC that's near me. It's 2 hours away, my bro. And
how do you survive? I got like 35 movie theaters within like spitting distance of this place.
Well, here's the thing. Most people, when they go to the AMC, they're spending 20.
It's not just AMC. We have what's that?
Lowe's.
Lowe's. We have what's the other one?
Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax.
And we got iPick.
Yeah.
I don't even
But
know.
I mean, but you and me, I mean, there's an AMC in Mountainside, there's an AMC in Clifton, Paramus has got one. I mean, all three of those is like 20 miles away from me, and that's just the big ones I can think of, like the big stadium seating,
Also, huge shout out to Mr. Austin for being here. Our first comment of the stream. Woo woo!
That you know of. So, but yeah, I think it'll be cash on this.
Okay.
I can see the chat too. That's the first one we've brought.
Okay, so you want my opinion?
Yes.
Since this is a book and they decided to make a movie out of this, and like you said, and y'all brought up some good opinions or good.
That's the book.
No. What Rob said?
No, he was talking about Wild Robot.
We're talking about Megalopolis.
Was Megalopolis a movie too, or a book too?
Yeah, we're talking about Megalopolis. I'm getting tongue tied. So,
but this is a book.
Megalopolis, yeah, it was based off a book.
Yes, he's correct.
Oh. So that's interesting. So on the same day, the same weekend, we have two movies that are based in the books coming out.
Yeah.
Two.
So in that case, this will be cash, but more towards, like Scott said, this is going to be pushing more towards the Oscars.
Yeah.
Because you got
I've drive this movie to box office.
What's that?
What happened?
Can Adam Driver be the person that drives this movie to the box office?
Okay, so we just made our opinion.
All right. So, yeah.
I gotta do a drinking game because every time Scott and Rob get eliminated.
God, dude, this is driving me bananas over here, man.
Are you allergic to work? Like, come on.
Yeah, my nose is snug like crazy right now. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, yeah. But I mean, if we did some kind of I don't know if we can do a live drinking game. I got to find out the rules on that, but I'd be down for it in some way. Like, if we could, maybe we should just do it off camera, but some kind of like a Jeopardy drinking game, where every time we're wrong, we take a shot.
Oh, that would be.
Listen, I got the good stuff down below here. I got wine in the fridge, but I got the good stuff down below. And if I have to, I got a liquor store 1,000 feet away. Oh God, I'd be under the table. Oh wow. Okay, you guys might want to see what I look like. Really, really, really drunk. That'd be funny. But last time I got completely plastered, a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses saw it. Anyway, yeah, that didn't go well. Anyway, moving on. Probably I shouldn't have said that. So you guys think our cash on this then?
Yeah, I'll say cash.
Cool. So
yeah,
all right. So that's gonna wrap that up. So are y'all ready for this?
Yeah, I wish you would have done this at the beginning when our brains were working. Now they're mush.
Oh, now you got to work at it though. Okay. This movie came out 30 years ago today. Has an eclectic cast. A well-established character actor who originally got his start on a TV show that took place in Boston. That is part of its own basically universe that even stems all the way to Seinfeld. There's one of the cast members from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is in there, and ironically enough, her parents in that movie were played by Rodney Dangerfield and Edie McClurg. It also had a relatively young Robert Downey Jr. in it as well, and came out 30 years ago today.
Trading Places?
No,
that's 40 years. That's 1983.
Yeah. It's that golf movie.
No, it is not.
Oh crap!
That younger.
It is a movie that, in a lot of ways, launched the career of its lead actor. The secondary actors never really basically exploded after this. Surprisingly enough, despite the critical acclaim from this movie. This movie, by the way, also was directed by Oliver Stone and written by Quentin Tarantino, who also that year had Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I'm not good with my Quentin Tarantino movies. I know that name, but I'm not good with my movies with them.
Excuse me.
that has Wesley Snipes with Robert Downey Jr.?
No, but yeah, Robert Downey Jr., but no Wesley Snipes.
What is that? Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Nope.
It's about years old, and it's with Wesley Snipes and Robert Downey Jr. It's what I think.
Young Robert Downey Jr. Had Rodney Dangerfield.
This movie also had Tommy Lee Jones, fresh off of The Fugitive. Stephen Wright was in it as well.
Wait, You Can't Handle the Truth?
No. Good.
No.
Close. Good,
Not
but no.
Marshals?
See your prior.
Not U.S. Marshals?
No, he was just using explaining.
That was the movie with the two that you mentioned, Wesley Snipes and Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
No, that movie was mid.
No, that's
it is a 3-word title. Its main oh boy. In real life, the main actor, his father was a professional assassin in real life.
Hey, helping.
not the Jurassic Park.
I was going to say George Clooney, but
that actor, but by the way, that main actor was also known for not being able to jump opposite Wesley Snipes.
Oh, White Man Can't Jump?
That's the main actor. Yes.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
Woody Harrelson's the main actor.
Woody Harrelson with
and then opposite opposite the older sister in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
See, I've never watched National Lampoon Christmas, so that does not help me. But I think you're talking about is her actress named Beverly or something like that?
Not in this case. I feel like I should probably just either give it away or give you like a massive hint.
Give a massive hint.
Okay. Two victims of traumatized childhood become lovers, and psychopathic serial murderers irresponsibly glorified by the mass.
Train.
What's that?
Money Train?
No. National Born Killers?
There you go, sir.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Natural Born Killers came out 30 years ago today. It was pretty much the launching vehicle for Woody Harrelson, who had done some decent stuff up until that point, but was never like massive A-list material until this one.
Oh, that's right. You said Wesley Snipes.
So I figured that was going to be a tough one. I also figured that basically Austin figured it out because he was talking about good movie before I even actually had that. So I think you knew what it was, but
yeah, that was a good movie. Matter of fact, I do remember watching that as a kid. Oh my god!
Yeah, okay.
That explains a lot.
I frequently forget that. I often think it was Uma Thurman in that movie too, but it's not. It's Juliette
Oh,
Lewis.
Yeah. Man. That movie, oh my God.
Yes.
As a kid, oh my God.
I will have to work on whatever. I want to try and make it maybe a little easier and a little bit fun, one of the more recent, I think, for next week.
Yeah.
For whatever. Well, September, here's the thing. September 2nd is Labor Day, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll figure it out.
But as a kid, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, that rocked a lot of people back then, man.
Oh my God. For someone that was 8 years old watching that movie, oh my God.
Well,
that was far more worse than Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
What's that got to do with Seinfeld?
Oh, okay. So Cheers, the TV show Cheers, is actually in the same universe as Seinfeld. Actually, so is Frasier, actually, because Cheers had a crossover with Wings, which was a show with Tim Daly. It was a comedy with Tim Daly and Steven Weber. They crossed over with Mad About You, which actually had Kramer on one episode.
And who was from Cheers that was in that?
Woody Harrelson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Definitely not a kid's movie. Yeah. I mean,
I know it definitely wasn't a kid's movie.
It can be watched by kids, which apparently happened here.
Yeah.
That's why Rob didn't know it.
It's all right. I'll see if I can come up with something a little easy. I wonder maybe should we make it a day of something like this?
Yeah.
Like come up like five of these and just try and make you figure it out.
Or hey, we could do can we, and maybe Kyle or somebody can put this up, could we do a kind of like a Jeopardy kind of trivia thing?
He did talk about wanting to do another Jeopardy.
Could you do this movie came out this year, starred this actor, and maybe
He could. Here's the only thing I want to say about him. He works at a college right now, and if you ever went to school, you know this is the bad time of year for college.
Yeah.
Oh no, I understand.
Yeah.
No.
So I don't know in this case how much he can do. I'll talk to him about that.
Yeah.
I know he's been doing photography for the Philadelphia Union, but in this case, we'll see what we can do there. But yeah, I know he wants to do stuff like that, so it might just be a not now. It might be an October thing.
Or you're good at the one that's been looking these up, and you'd be good with putting hints.
I could.
Yeah.
Okay, what I could just off the top of my head, maybe I can tie something together in a string.
Yeah.
And then basically I'll have two movies side by side and be like, okay, link them by the actors that were in certain things.
So Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
The Sixth Sense, Kevin Bacon, but it's where you take one actor and you take another and link them together.
Yes, and I am 1 degree from Kevin Bacon. True story.
I am. Well, I've met him, or technically I met him.
Yeah. Kyra, by the way, when I talked about directors that know their shit, Kyra Sedgwick, his wife, is fantastic.
Yeah.
She did The Closer or whatever that show was for a bunch of years. She was spectacular on Good Fight. She was so fast with what she was doing.
But if we're talking acting wise, I did find out I am part of the Sixth Senses. You can connect me to Kevin Bacon from being in Running the Bases.
Okay, how?
So I starred. I'd have to go get the list, but I know I starred, or me being in Running the Bases, is it Cameron Arnett? I'd have to figure out. It's either Todd Terry or Cameron Arnett was in the movie with Dennis Quaid, with that football movie that came out, with Zachary Levi as the American Underdog. Sorry.
Okay.
Actually,
it's not the only way to do it in this case, but
well, that was the only way that I knew how to connect because wait, what?
The Oracle of Bacon. Yeah, Dennis. I connected Dennis Quaid to Kevin Bacon. There's a website you can do this.
Well, put Robert Manning to Kevin Bacon. I'm probably not even in that.
There you go.
Whoa! That's cool.
You have a Bacon number of 2, sir.
Try my name. Let's see what happens.
They went God's Country song. Whoa!
Probably nothing.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
they got you with Beverly Hills Cops.
Cool.
All right, we're going that way. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like I said, I did do The Following, which was his show. So, but
please send me this website. That's so cool that they know me.
yeah, that's the website is called oracleofbacon.org. I'll put it in the private chat so you got it.
Oh,
nice.
I'm sorry, but the fact that they went the God's Country song route and not the Running the Bases route, which was the route I originally went, that stayed.
There you go. See?
Wow.
So anybody that's got an IMDb, it links it.
That's so cool.
Wow.
And the fact that there's a bunch of Robert Mannings on IMDb and they went with this Robert
Valid,
Manning.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There you go.
Oh, they went Kevin Smith, Scooby-Doo, Penny Marshall. But that's weird. So they go movies, not actor-wise.
They go movie star, which had in this case Penny Marshall, who's in she's having a baby with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. Cool.
Oh wow. Oh, I see how they do it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like whoever you're connected with in the movie. Wow.
Sorry, that's what I was looking for right there. So. Yeah. So.
That's so cool.
That's Oracle of Bacon, by the way. If you ever want to find out how many degrees of Kevin Bacon you are in the film industry, that's how you do it.
I'm 3.
See, look at all the random crap that just sits around my head all day.
I'm 3. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, there you go. So
there you go. Okay.
Cool. Anything else, gentlemen? Or are we good?
I don't. Do we have anything else that we need to talk about? That any fantastic news that came out this week or anything?
No, I think we're good at this point. We're an hour and 10 at this point anyway. So.
Yeah. Everybody go play Fortnite. It's fun.
Hey,
On that note,
hey, they stole the no bones dance from my buddy Nate. Okay.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Davion.
I'm
Scott. That's Rob.
I'm Easy Scott.
And this is Tales from the Film Set, and we're out of here.
Woo!